All right. We are live. Good to see y'all here. Looks like it's some people in the chat already, and we're here with a special guest tonight, Papa Prepper. I'm sure most of you in here already knows him. So,
Guys, good to see y'all. Yeah, I see some familiar names in there.
yeah, we got B Charmin in here, Big Jermaine, Right Side of Wrong, Barb Clayman, the Roman Prepper.
That's
I don't know if you
familiar.
know him or not, but I
Mm-mm.
found him on Instagram. We follow each other, and he's actually going to be on with me next week, next Monday night. He's going to be streaming with me.
Okay.
And Karen Miner and Cat Lady's here. So, hello to all of y'all that are here now. Hopefully, everybody's doing good and having a good night. And Hidden City Preppers in here too. So,
Hey guys, good to see you guys.
we are live. And again, yesterday I was over on his stream and we were talking back and forth. And I told him I need to come up with a cool name for my weekly stream and everything. So he suggested Locked and Loaded. So I couldn't think of anything better. So we used that one. So
Hey, there's OFC Nation. He's got a good channel too.
yeah, I started following him a couple weeks ago. I seen him on Prepper Nations when I
That's where I
started
saw
following
him
him.
too. Yeah. Hey, Cat Lady, good to see you. I'm still waiting on that message you're supposed to send me last night.
But yeah, good to see everybody. Like I said, hopefully everybody enjoyed it, and we had a blast last night, and
All
we're
right.
here today. And we just recently started following each other, and last night was the first time we met and really hit it off. So we got a lot of common interests, some prepping and homesteading and music and all that good stuff. So I figured we would start off kind of getting a little bit of his backstory on, what got him into prepping and things like that.
Well, man, probably like a lot of the folks in here, the COVID not well, I shouldn't say I don't get your channel in trouble. The sickness, I guess, um, that really woke us up. My wife's always been a couponer, so tax season every year she'd get a year's worth of shampoo and toilet paper, and so I guess you can consider that prepping. But
Mhm.
so we've done that for years. But then we had a heads up from a friend on the inside that said y'all better get some food because this sickness it's real, it's coming. And we did. And man, it wasn't probably 2 or 3 days we went out just to see how bad it was, and there was nothing around here. I mean, the food, the the meat aisle, all the coolers were empty. I mean, not even a piece of toilet paper. I mean, nothing. So we decided right then that it's time to get serious because we're not going to be left like that. So that really got us to going. And then, you know, I started looking on YouTube just to get ideas, what we really needed to do. And that's where I seen John you know, and I didn't really, I've always loved being in the woods. Like, I guess you would say bugging out before it was a known term, just when I was a kid, just go off and play in the woods, build forts and all kinds of stuff. And like, I know how to do all that. I'm going to try a channel. I'm
Mhm.
going to make me a channel. I know how to do all this. I can prep. We've done it for years. So here I am.
It seems to be a lot of people prep from one degree to another, whether they realize they are or not, or whether they
Right.
call it prepping or not. It just, like being really rural and, where people used to raise big gardens and can everything and do things like that. I mean, they did a lot of prepping without actually calling it prepping. It was just,
Yep.
everyday life. And, basically all prepping is now stems back to the older days, like back in the 30s. I mean, that's the way people lived. all the time was being prepped. I mean, you had to cut your wood in the summer to make it through the winter and
Yep.
raise your garden and can it so you had things to eat and things like that. Where now everybody's just kind of relying on the system and not really, worrying about having things for themselves. I mean, you see it every year. Every time you have a big thunderstorm or a big hurricane or anything like that, or calling for a big snowstorm, everybody runs to the store and just wipes it out in, a matter of an hour or two.
Yep.
It just shows that they have some level of awareness of the things they need, but they just don't have the discipline to actually do it beforehand. They want to be last minute preppers.
Right. Because you'll notice, like a lot of our community, a lot of our prepping family, um, if you pay attention, a majority of them are up and down the coast and where they get a lot of snow.
Mm-hmm.
People that know you have to prep for this, they know what ifs, they know what's coming. Like, up and down South Carolina, North Carolina, Alabama, Florida. That's where a lot of our prepping communities from.
Mm-hmm.
And like, Texas, that was just one of the instances, like, who'd have ever thought, so
That's exactly
my heart
right.
goes out for them because they would, I mean, in Texas, you would prep for, droughts and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. You would think, not a deep freeze. But if anything from this last year has taught us anything, is anything can happen anywhere. I mean, there's been snowfall this past year in places it's never snowed before, and
Mm-hmm.
freezing temperatures, and this weather it's something else.
We got a pretty good amount of the ice storm. We didn't get much snow. They were calling for one time being like 12 to 18 inches, but we ended up getting like 6 at the very most, I think, which is pretty mild. Usually it doesn't snow a lot around here. Maybe you'll get a 1 or 2 inch dust in a year, but last year I don't think we even got a flake, so it's kind of hit or miss here. Basically, our location, we're in pretty good shape. We have the occasional thunderstorm come through and knock down trees and power and stuff. And, you got tornadoes to worry about every now and then, but we're kind of far enough away from hurricane areas that we only get rain, when they come through and everything. So, a lot of people kind of got caught with their pants down in my area with this ice
Yeah.
because it broke down so many trees, and I forgot how many thousands of people were out of power in Virginia, but I mean, it was, you know, they showed like a graph of the different states and everything and their level of power outages. And, Virginia was like in the top 3 or 4. So it really kind of hit hard, but, it is what it is. I mean, it's a couple that I work with, that when that happened, they're like, I need a generator. It's like, no, buddy, you too late. That ship done sailed.
Yeah.
And then, actually, I think it was today. I asked one of them, it's like, you find your generator yet? And he's like, no, I ain't been looking. I said, well, now's the time to look when everything's good,
Yeah.
So,
People, I don't know. You think they would just kind of go with it, Because I posted a little bitty video today, a real short video thanking everybody, because I think I finally became totally monetized today. I think I've looked at 2 different places and they both saying 2 different things, so we'll see.
well, that's
but
cool.
Thank you. But on that video, I said, I was asking the viewers to maybe send me some ideas for content, because like the difference between like a homestead channel and prepper channel, like homestead, there's always stuff going on, constantly for you guys, well, you're always busy. But like preppers, you make your videos about what you need, how much you need to try to get, what bugging out or bugging in, what that's all about. And eventually you just kind of, it's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. I can sit here and preach every day about what you need and what you need to stock up on, but you guys don't want to hear me just keep on and on and on, the same thing. So, but yeah, it's, we start you just saying about people learning. Like you
Hmm.
can lead them to water, but you can't make them drink.
That's exactly right. And we got Mame's Legacy in here now. It's good to see you tonight.
Name's my girl.
Yeah. And True American Loretta's in here. But yeah, the thing about the homesteading and prepping and everything, like I said, before we added all this, we were prepping a little bit and, not really all that serious, but just kind of moving along and things. And, um, I don't know if it's just being paranoid or what, but when everything hit and everything shut down and stuff, it's like we need to move into homesteading. I was thinking long term, if things really go away and never come back or whatever, that we need to be able to produce our own, because it doesn't matter how much you have prepped up, one day it will run out.
Oh yeah,
So, like I said, lucky we live where we live and have plenty of land to add all these things. It's just time and money and everything, but we've got the land for it, so it's like time to get after it. So,
yeah. Because I mean, it could be, and pray. I mean, I pray every night. That we never have to use our preps, or if we
hmm
do use them, it's just to rotate them out. I mean, a lot of people have the misconception. I think we talked about this last night about I'm gonna bug out to the woods and I'm
hmm
gonna live off the land and eat bugs and you know if it's the middle of the summer, yeah, you can get a deer, but what are you gonna do with it? You
yeah,
know, there's not you're wasting a whole deer for one meal or two possibly. I
that's
mean,
exactly right.
that's just there's no. It goes a lot farther than just hitting the woods and being Daniel Boone or something the rest of your life. It's just not going to work that way.
Yeah, I mean, not with the population you have now. Like we were talking about, it's like, yeah, you're going to do that, and so is everybody else. So, I mean, honestly, if you was in that situation, which you know as well as I do, your best bets is going to be fishing and small game hunting. Because, like you said, you
Yeah,
kill a big game animal, unless you got 5 or 6 of you with you, you're just wasting so much because
yeah,
you can't eat it all, and you also don't have a way to store it or save it. Um, in the middle of the woods like that. Now you could try to dry it out a little bit over a campfire or something, kind of making some makeshift jerky, but that's only goes so far.
yeah. Yeah, it's definitely going to be fishing and small game if that's the route you choose. I mean, and it might not even be a choice. You might have to do that. But
Hmm.
like I said, it's going to have to be our house burning down around us before we even think about giving up everything we've worked our whole life for.
Yeah. I see Orville's done made it in here tonight. Good to see you. And David Crearson's in here. So far, we've got 17 people in here. I got a little pick me up this evening. It's been a long day. I was on with you last night, and then after that and all, then the baby is cutting teeth, and she's got a ear infection now, so she was up most of the night fussing and stuff, and then get up and go to work and all that fun stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was up talking to you, and then I finished up my stuff, went to bed, and got up at 7 o'clock this morning making a video. I don't think I'll do that anymore. Not trying to sing. Singing at 7 o'clock in the morning is rough.
Yeah. Another thing with singing, a lot of people that don't realize unless they actually do it is your voice has to be ready for it. Like you say, when you first get up and everything's still cloggy and groggy and stuff like that. I mean, you can't sing like you can when you've had time to be straightened up and stuff.
Yeah, you can't just sing on. I mean, I guess you can just sing on cue, but not first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Especially, I smoked for. Well, I just quit smoking 3 years ago, so I smoked for about 20 years. So in the mornings, you still sometimes get not too bad, but it's still there a little bit.
Yeah, like when we go to church and everything before we sing, I usually get me a cup of coffee, because something like that really helps to clear your throat out a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah. Coffee, tea, usually coffee for me.
Mm.
Just ice water tonight.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nope. Well, thank you, cat lady. And Mames, you're absolutely right. You got to warm up just like exercising the same. Thank you, Hidden City Prepper. Yeah, the bad thing about when I quit smoking, I used the tobacco pouches, like the little not like the long cut skull, but I mean skull makes it, but just the little pouches. I
Hmm.
used them to quit smoking. Then I got hooked on them, and now, well, as of it'll be Wednesday. I ain't had tobacco in almost a week. So
That's good. Luckily, I never got into any of it. So, I always heard you don't start a habit, you ain't got to break one. So,
that's exactly right. I haven't. I mean, I've been using the little nicotine pouches. There's no tobacco or nothing in them. It's just a little white pouch just to get your nicotine.
hmm,
I've been using them, but I'm on the second step down from that. So I should be completely done in a week. I hope.
that's good. We're praying for you.
Thank you.
Um, like I said, I never had to quit that or anything, but I've heard a lot of people say it's the hardest thing they ever done.
It is hard because anything, something goes wrong, you want a cigarette. You decide
Yeah.
to have beer or something, you want a cigarette. Your buddy's standing around smoking, you want a cigarette. it's,
Mm,
it's you never really, and a lot of it for me is more of a habit.
hmm.
Oh, well, of course it's a habit, but you know what I mean. It's not so much the nicotine; it's just, well, got done eating, got to have a cigarette.
Yeah. I've
And
heard a lot of people say that.
yeah, I always had to have one after I got done eating.
Mhm. But yeah, like I said, we hadn't really talked a lot or talked about music or anything like that. What kind of guitars you into?
All of them. Now I've got my favorite's my Martin. I wanted a Martin for years, and she got me one last year for Valentine's Day. But I mean, I've got Fender, Washburn. I don't stick with a particular brand. I've got some electrics, mostly acoustics. I got eight, I think eight guitars, eight or nine. Expensive habit.
Yeah. I'm working on Orville here. He still needs some prayers. He's kind of guitar prejudice. But he's a Martin man, so I give him some crap every now and then on it. I like Martin too, but I actually got a Taylor a while back that I really like. The neck on the Taylor is a little bit different. It seems to be a little bit wider, and it's just easier for me to play and more comfortable than the Martin. Your hands kind of cramp up. So I like that one, as far as playing a lot. But I got an old D28, and you just can't beat the sound of that thing.
Yeah, I like the Martin because of the littler neck. Because I can't play much of it or play it very well, but I love the blues. And Martin's just a good blues guitar. I mean, it's easy to bend the strings, and the neck's so narrow. You just
Mhm.
barely bend it and get that big old blues sound. I love the blues.
You ever played a resonator guitar?
I mean, like a dobro kind of.
Well, they got the dobro style with the strings, set up high where it's only a dobro, but they make the one that they're low too, where you can actually play it like a guitar.
No, I haven't played one.
I had one. It was a cheap brand, like a Savannah or something, but it was pretty cool. I ended up letting my buddy have that, and he plays actual dobro and stuff, and he plays around on that sometimes. But it's pretty neat.
Yeah, I've got that banjo hanging back there, and I've just never taken the time to learn how to play it. It was my papa's, and when he passed on, I got it.
Mm.
And that thing, I'd say it's easily 70 years old probably.
Hmm.
And I mean, it's in great shape for as old as it is. It's a five string, and I just never take time to mess with it. I'd say
I
that
love a
I bet
banjo.
those strings ain't been changed in probably 30 years. I mean, it's been a while because he got to where he just couldn't remember how to play.
Hmm.
So it just kind of laid under his bed in the case, and that's where it stayed.
Yeah. I've always liked a banjo, though. It's just something about one.
Oh, I love the sound. I love the sound of a banjo and a mandolin. I want a mandolin bad.
I've
Um,
got one, but I can't do very much. I can play some chords, but I can't play any lead or anything like that. Orville's dad, he usually plays the mandolin at church and stuff, and he's good with it.
yeah, I'd love to learn how to play one because you can pick one of them up. They're not real expensive. I mean, they
Hmm.
are, but they're not. For a music,
Yeah.
like you can get a Fender for like 300 and something. I mean,
Hmm.
that's pretty cheap for a Fender product.
Yeah. It's just like everything. I mean, you can go from hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars real quick, but
Oh
you can
yeah,
get a pretty decent one, like you said, three or $400 and pick it up and run with it.
yep. We went to it was down in Pigeon Forge last year, and we went to forget what it's called. It's a great big guitar shop down there. Way out of my league. I should have never even walked in there. I mean, like $6,000 acoustic guitars hanging on the wall. Like
Yeah.
they had original Les Pauls. They had one hanging in there. I mean, this thing looked like they found it in the Titanic, and they wanted like 7 grand for it. I mean, it was beat up. It made Willie Nelson's guitar look like a brand new one. And I was like, "We got to go. Let's get out of here."
Yeah. You can definitely find them like that. I remember when I was a kid, my dad used to look at them on the internet, on these sites, these old antiques and stuff, like 40, $50,000 Martins and stuff.
Yeah. If I ever won the lottery, that's where a big chunk of money would probably go. Guitars and cars.
I always wanted one of the Martin D45s with the big octagon inlays and stuff. I thought that was a pretty guitar.
Yeah. I'm not sure what this one is. I should know it by heart. Just a road series.
That's the one you were playing this morning, on it.
Yeah.
That's a
That's the
good
one.
sounding guitar.
Thank you. That's the one I usually play.
Mm.
My favorite is a Squire made by Fender,
Yeah.
little acoustic. My wife got it for me years ago, and that thing plays so easy. I mean, just a cheap guitar. Man, it
Hmm.
plays easy. Stays in tune. You can knock it over and pick it up. It's still in tune.
I wish they made banjos like that. When you have a banjo, you tune on it more than you play it. They're very peculiar, and a banjo's got a whole lot of things to keep in tune and keep in line, because the head is set to a certain tension and everything. So when it gets loose, it sounds all wonky, and you got to have the bridge in the right place and the strings at the right height, and it's a very technical instrument.
Yeah, I'll probably never learn.
You can
I,
get it though. You can play guitar and everything, so you got the musical ability. It just be getting used to it and getting the roll patterns. As far as the
yeah,
chords and stuff is easy, but just getting the rolls down is the biggest portion of a banjo.
right. I don't know if I can get my fingers going that fast. I watch yours, man. You just roll, and it looks awesome.
Well, I appreciate it.
I I think you're great. You said you're not that good, and like, well, it just depends on who you ask.
It probably is, but like I said, I've never thought I was that good at it and stuff. And you see some of these other ones, like Sammy Sheila and Ralph and Earl Scruggs and stuff like, yeah, I can't hold a light to them dudes.
Well, just got to keep on it. I can't play nowhere near as good as I should. I've been playing for, might as well say, 35 years, I guess.
Mm.
And I can play anything rhythm, but when it comes to lead and stuff, my hands are huge and they're just not that fast.
Yeah. Um, Getting back to some prepping, what are some of your goals this year?
Make it to next year.
Hmm.
No. Well, I'm working on my water catchment system right now. I should have had it done, but a bunch of rain came in, so that made it because I want to build them up on stands so you can get buckets under them.
Mm-hmm.
So now I got to wait till the ground, dries back up so I can actually build a platform there. And just my main goal for this year is just have a very successful garden, get my chickens up and established, and get my well functional. I mean, it's just sitting there. I mean, I got to get it up and going so we can have that, worst case scenario. I've got a pretty big to do list.
Yeah. That seems to be with prepping and homesteading. Every time you get one project done, there's 10 more that you need or want to do. And I need to work on a rain catchment myself. I hadn't quite got into that yet. We got a pond behind the house and a river down, probably a mile through the woods. It ain't real far and everything, but I need to work on the catchment system. But I hadn't decided quite yet what I want to go with. There's
I
so many
did. Oh, go ahead.
there's so many different ways to do it and things like that.
Yeah, I wanted to go with the big IBC totes, the big
Hmm.
white ones with the cages, but they're hard to come by. And, well, they're not really hard to come by, and you can buy them pretty cheap. It's just the stuff that's been in them. Just go power wash it, it'll be fine. It's like, man, it says Roundup on the side. I'm not, I ain't gonna put water in that for my chickens or my
That's
food.
exactly right.
I mean, I don't. I mean, yeah, you can scrub it and power wash it, and it'd probably be okay. But I'm not taking a chance with some chemicals like that. If it had like
Mhm.
cooking oil and stuff like that in it, yeah. But
Yeah,
we get into Roundup and that ammonia and stuff. Nope.
it's very unforgiving.
Yeah. There's some things you can't come back from.
Yeah, but yeah, we need to do that, and we're going to grow more garden this year. We made the spot bigger than we did last year, and working on getting that rest of that fence up because I want to get a cow or two here, and and add to the livestock and everything, and maybe another couple goats or something. But honestly, goats are really expensive, and they're a lot more maintenance than I thought they were. I always heard you get a goat and tie them to a stick out in the yard and they're good to go. But no, they're a lot more maintenance than that. We had one, I forgot, she was a smaller one. She was probably 7, 8 months old, something like that, probably about 30, 40 pounds. And she got worms really bad. And, she almost died, but she ended up, getting better. We give her medicine and, um, Orville told me to go out there and anoint her with oil and pray for her and things. And, she's doing good now, but, at that time we thought we was going to lose her. And, lucky my buddies, know everything about goats and sheep and stuff like that come over and help because, I've been around cows when I was a kid, but never goats or sheeps or anything like that. So it's a totally different animal.
Yeah, I'm wanting a couple goats, but the wife's kind of said no about that right now. I think for one, I got too many pokers in the fire, and she's like, "I'm not eating a goat." I said, "They're for milk. I'm not
All,
drinking milk."
all you got to do is show her a picture of one of those little cute bottle babies running around and stuff, and she'll have one then. But like I
And
said, I like the goat milk better, and I want to try one to eat. trying to get my buddy. He goes to a lot of these livestock sales. If one ever comes up for a good price, we're going to get it and butcher it. I tried some lamb burger, and I just didn't like it at all. Honestly, I thought it was nasty.
I've
But
never ate lamb.
um, somebody else that's ate goats and stuff said that it was a lot like deer, just not as gamey tasting. So I'm interested in trying that.
Yeah,
And
that wouldn't be bad. I love deer meat.
hmm but the one thing with the lamb is it just had such a weird smell that I just couldn't deal with it.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
never messed with it.
lamb chops or something might be different, but far as the burger, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna for right now. I'm gonna stick with the chickens. I'm hoping to have by the end of the summer 25 to 30 chickens,
hmm
and we've already. I've told her that they're not going to be pets. When they're done laying, we can't just afford to keep supplying chickens and not getting anything in return. I mean, that's the complete opposite of what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So, I've got a very soft heart when it comes to animals. So when it comes right down to it, I might not be. I mean, if it was SHTF, obviously, yeah, I'd do it.
hmm
But just if everything's going pretty decent, just to go out and butcher a chicken, I don't know if I could or not. I mean, I'll see when the time comes. I've got a buddy that's already said if I can't do it, he'll come do it for me. So,
Yeah, that's good.
oh, absolutely. I love deer meat, man. That backstrap, whew.
That's definitely the best part. But yeah, I kind of grew up around it and animals and hunting and everything, and kind of knowing that everything's got a purpose and stuff. So it never really bothered me. I had pets like dogs and stuff. That something happened to them, I would cry and things like that. But as far as the farm animals and stuff, I always knew that that was separate. And that's what we're working on now is trying to raise the kids up in it and have them involved in it so they're not a bunch of snowflakes, for lack of a better term.
Oh, I was impressed with your kids, man. That video with them, you guys dressing them chickens. I
hmm
was impressed because most 20, 22-year olds, and they're not going to do that. They don't want no part of that. But
hmm
that right there shows it just depends on how you're raised. I mean,
Yep. The first few years is the foundation, and that's they keep some of that the rest of their life. People change and everything, but I mean when you're raised up that way, it's a different class of different type of people than otherwise, because you would be surprised how many people in the city actually believe like the grocery store makes the food there or some crazy stuff like that.
oh
It's
yeah.
like you know
Well, now this is a true story. One of our friends, they was having a little get together at their house, and dude was making hamburgers, and his daughter wanted one with cheese, a hamburger with cheese. And then, she was sitting there eating, and they started talking about beef. The going halves on a cow, I think, was a conversation to have it butchered. She's like, I don't eat beef. And he's like, you eating a cheeseburger right there. She goes, this is a hamburger. It's from a pig. And this girl's 16 or 17 years old. It's like, are you kidding me? And she was dead serious. She don't eat beef and sitting there mowing down on a big old cheeseburger because it thought it was from a pig.
yeah.
Lord have mercy. These are our future leaders.
Yeah, I think a few of them's in office right now.
Absolutely.
As a matter of fact, I need to take a road trip to Washington. It's a feller up there owes me some money.
Yeah, I still ain't got mine yet either. I could definitely use it.
Yeah, my wife got some kind of message today from the bank or something like that they're saying it's going to be like the 17th before we get it, or some kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, my wife works in a store, and one of her regulars said that most everybody will definitely have it by the 18th or something like that. And
Hmm.
again, today I checked my phone probably 50 times, checked my bank account. So I need to go get some lumber. That stuff goes up daily.
It really does.
Man,
Like that video you made the other day talking about stuff. If you got a place to store it and money to burn, that is a good prep investment right now is lumber because it's only going to keep going up.
and that stuff is going to be golden, grid down, SHTF. I mean,
Hmm.
you're going to
You
have,
got that right. Like you were saying, a lot of people are talking about just bugging her to the woods or whatever, but you're going to have a lot of people starting to form communities in, a big SHTF, and you're going to have to build stuff. You're going to have to, build outhouses. You're going to have to build barns. You're going to have to build, you know, small houses for people to live in. And
yep,
I mean, it's going to be a bunch of construction going on in SHTF.
yep. I have no doubt, SHTF. Like, I live in a really small town. I mean, I live in town, but it's a really, we got a couple stop signs and a mom and pop's gas station and a
Hmm.
little bitty cafe type diner. Okay. And of course, the Dollar General that sprung up overnight. But those are popping up everywhere. But, I think a lot of the little towns like ours will probably turn into compounds. You know what I mean? Like you see in the movies, old ladies and gents, I've got to go. Got a 5 a.m. wake up. Godspeed to you all. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. I like his name, the Roaming Prepper. That's a cool name.
Yeah. Yeah. I follow him on Instagram. Do you have an Instagram?
No, yeah. I was thinking Twitter. Like, no, you couldn't pay me to get on Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I never got into that either, but yeah, I've got Instagram. I have to look for you on there too, but yeah, I followed him on there and invited him to come over and be on stream next week and everything. But yeah, it seems like a pretty cool dude.
I'll check him out. I love meeting all these new people, man. I never thought I'd see myself that way, because my anxiety issues and stuff. And when I first started doing this, I didn't even know if I could do a live stream. And then a couple months later, I mean, it's the good people,
Hmm.
the viewers. I know hands down the best viewers and subscribers because they're like so easygoing. Nobody's in there making smart aleck comments and stuff like that. I couldn't ask for a better bunch of people.
Hmm.
Excuse me.
I've been lucky on that too. I haven't really had any, you know, bad stuff on my channel and things like that. Everybody's been good and, positive comments and stuff like that. So that's been a good thing. But
Yeah.
back before I started doing the live streams and stuff, I would see a lot of, just about everybody was live streaming, one day or another. And I'm like, why is everybody doing all this? And then, when I start doing it, I see why. It's, really enjoyable when you actually get to interact with the viewers. I've said a few times before that, when you just make a video and put it out there, you just, it's different and you try to think of what questions maybe somebody might ask you or something and address it in the video where when you live stream you can actually do it one on one, so it's really enjoyable.
Thank you, SJ. I love you guys too. See, I got the best group of people. Yeah, those questions, man. I'm on the Angry Prepper tomorrow night, dude. I'm nervous.
Yeah, I plan on watching that and following you and stuff.
Just his presence, man, makes me nervous.
Yeah.
We're totally. I mean, we're kind of. Yeah, we're totally like different. You know, like I think I'm pretty easygoing, laid back, and he's like drill sergeant kind of
Mhm.
guy. So it'll be interesting. It'll be fun. It'd be definitely a clash of not really cultures, but what would you call that? Clash of personalities, I guess. Maybe I
I
don't know.
guess so, something like that, but it'll be interesting anyway.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. It'll be fun.
Mm. He usually has what, 5 or 6 people, 5 or 600 people in his chats and stuff at a time.
At least. That'll
It's,
by far be the biggest crowd I've ever been in front of.
yeah, I can't imagine, trying to keep up with all that.
That's why I never. I mean, I watch a lot of his live streams, but nobody ever think I was in there because I don't even try to talk because
Mhm.
he has a delay on his chat so he can keep up with it. Well, then you can only comment once every. I think his is 30 seconds. So
Mhm.
by the time you tell somebody hi, then 15 more have told you hi, and you just can't keep up. And I just sit back and watch.
Yeah, it's almost like the old Telegram days.
Be Charming said it perfect. He's a hyped city slicker, and I'm a laid back country bumpkin.
Yep, that's a good way to put it.
Thank you, Reverend Orville. You put up my link.
Yeah.
Or I guess you can see it too. Sorry.
Oh, yes, you fine.
This is new for me, just figuring out I can see the chat and be on this side of StreamYard. I've never been able to watch the chat when I was being the guest.
Yeah. Um, like I said, I'm not very tech savvy either, so it's a whole lot of things. It's like something that people do this a lot. It's like dirt simple, and then I'll find it's like, hey, that's pretty cool, and they're like, yeah, that's kindergarten.
Yeah. Yeah, I was totally impressed the day I made my intro video, that little
Mhm.
intro segment. Man, that took me like 6 hours to do that. I was so impressed with myself.
Yeah, I still haven't got to that yet. Orville's been telling me that I need to make an intro, and I'm like, well, I don't really know how.
Well, you got enough footage, man. Just you could pick some banjo for your background music and just take little parts of your videos, and you could make a pretty awesome intro video.
I appreciate it.
I'm supposed to be working on Cat Lady's theme, her music for her channel, and I, I haven't forgot her. I just keep not enough hours in the day.
Yeah, I know exactly how that goes. But yeah, I've been trying to get Orville to get some prepping videos on his channel too. I told him, I say, you need to change your name to something like the Prepping Preacher, but he hadn't quite done it yet.
There you go. East Kentucky. Good to see you.
Yeah, I've seen him around. That's a pretty cool name too.
Yeah, he does music too.
Oh, does he?
hmm Yeah, I got it wrote down. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I've got it wrote down here somewhere.
That's good, Be Charming. I just got my potatoes in the other day, and I really can't wait until we get the actual real summertime when we can get, the tomatoes planted out there and everything. I've got them in the greenhouse, but I'm just not doing something right, I don't believe. They're just not doing what I think they ought to be doing, so it is
If
what
you
it is. Yes.
if you got a chance on YouTube, go to Fat Cave Studios
Mhm.
and click on the song Midnight Promise. That's East Kentucky. He's the bass player.
Hmm.
Pretty good.
I'll have to
Pretty good.
write that down so I can remember it. Would you say the name of it is?
Fat Cave Studios. Midnight Promise. Wildflower Prepper said, would love to hear some banjo picking 6-shooter. I know you got it with you tonight.
Yeah, I got it with me tonight. Concealed carry, of course. But this is a old banjo. I don't know if y'all know a lot about them, but you know, I probably paid more than I should have for it. But this is an old 1955 Gibson here.
Oh,
And this, I don't know if my camera will focus with the lights, but there you go.
there you go.
You see this raised ring right here?
Mm-hmm.
It's the arch top. It's like Ralph and some of the other ones played, but it's got that distinct sound to it versus the like Earl Scruggs style with the flat top.
Yeah.
But yeah, that, and I've got, like I was telling you about everything being in line, the head is basically as tight as it'll go, and that's what gives it, so much of that ring and so much volume.
Well, don't stop.
Is it too loud? I don't want to blow nobody's ears.
That sounds good to me.
That's an old song called Poor Ellen Smith. I don't know if y'all are familiar with it or not.
No, I've never heard that. I could listen to that for hours.
That's one we used to play a lot when we had the band before.
Reverend Oracle said, "Play boiling cabbage down."
I never did learn that one. He's probably gonna request it every song I don't know just to pick at me. But anyway, I'm sure you know too. When you play and stuff, you get song block just like writer's block. You pick it up and then you can't think of a song to save your life. But
yep,
that's how it is. And also with the earphones on, it kind of sounds real weird.
Yeah.
Let's see. Two trees on the hillside by cabin, always looking up toward the sky. Reminds me of my mama and my papa, who lived there 80 years before they died. Now a bright moon is shining in the valley, an old wagon leaned against a stack of hay. Two graves on the hillside by a cabin, my mom and dad are resting there today. My mom and dad are resting there today.
That's awesome, man. Good
Hopefully you wake the kids up.
Can you play Foggy Mountain Breakdown?
Not the greatest. I never could play it like Earl did. My roll pattern's a little bit different, but see.
I'm just sitting here grinning like a fool. That sounds awesome, man.
Well, I appreciate it. Another one, another style, I don't know if you're familiar with it or not. I'm not the greatest with it, but I do a little bit of it, is the clawhammer style. Like Ralph played a lot of it, but Grandpa Jones and String Bean and stuff, where it's like the strumming and everything. I really like that. I'd like to learn how to play it better, more smooth and stuff. But I really like that style. Ralph had a song called Rocky Island that has played the clawhammer style, and I've always loved that song.
I just don't know what to say, man. That makes me really want to learn how to play that now.
Oh yeah. A banjo is one of the most fun instruments to play. It
I'm
just
not leaving. I'm just standing up for a second.
it just has like a happy sound to it, you know.
That one there is called a conqueror.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know nothing about banjos.
I know they make a lot of different ones, you know. I'm not familiar with all of them, but you know, Gibson was always one of the top ones that everybody tried to go for and everything. And that one there, I've really enjoyed it. I like the archtop style and all, like I was saying, and that's a 1955, and it's got a um. They made that particular tone ring, I think, from either 54 or they started in 55 and they only made it to like 56. Most of your banjo tone rings, the flat top, like I was talking about, either you'll have a no hole or you'll have a 20 hole. And then in the arch top, you'll have a no hole or you'll have a 40 hole, where that one is only a 4 hole. So it's a really unique, and it's got a really unique sound, you know, kind of all of its own.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's got a real good volume to it too. You know, it projects out a lot.
Yeah, that sounds good. Which I mean, I'm sure it loses a lot coming over the computer and stuff. I'm sure it sounds a lot better in person.
Yeah, that, and I'm kind of playing a little bit quieter, you know, with everybody being asleep, and you know, I don't want to blow the eardrums out and everything like that, you know. But
Right.
um, in person, you know, it's I think it sounds better.
B Charm said, I thought if you could play a guitar, you could play a banjo. It's a little different.
Yeah. Um, like we were talking about earlier, you know, with the mandolin and everything, you know, every instrument is unique. It's got its own, you know, the chords are different and the way you play it's different, and you know. Yeah, it's got a good sound. But I've always loved that song too. That was the first song I learned to pick. My dad always said that you need to learn how to pick that one before you pick anything else. So that's the one he taught
Wildfire.
me. Yep.
That's one of the first ones I learned.
Mm-hmm. You picked that in a G style or a C style?
See.
Yeah. That's that's my favorite way to play is in a C style. I'll do a little bit in G, but on a banjo to pick it, it's got to be in C. I can't pick that in G.
Have you ever heard Miner's Prayer? Dwight Yoakam.
Mm-hmm.
Could you play
Actually,
that?
Ralph did that song with him.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
I never seen that.
Yeah. I forgot what it was. If some live show, maybe at the Grammys or something, that Ralph played with him on that one. You have to look it up on YouTube. But you know, I like that version.
Slid down. I need a strap.
Mm-hmm.
Up there. I love the blues.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too when you started that. I said, I bet Orville's going to get his harmonica. He plays harmonica too.
When the whistle blows each morning, and I walk down into that cold dark mine, I say a prayer to my dear Savior. Just let me see the sunshine one more time. Oh, when
Let it be over.
oh, when can I lay these burdens down? When I die, Lord in heaven, take my soul, make that cold dark grave. It's a good song.
It is. I don't know if it lags out too much to sing harmony with you or not, but
Yeah, it's lagging a little bit.
uh, I really wish you could find a way that that you could play together like that over the internet and not have that lag and everything. But I haven't figured that out yet either. But that would be really cool.
Yeah, I don't know if there is a way or not. That would be awesome. OMG, he's singing live.
Yeah, but this is a little bit of the wildwood flower on a banjo.
Love it. Yeah, I definitely wish we was a little bit closer.
Yeah. Yep, that's for sure. That would be good. Get me and you and get Orville and you said Prep and Plummer plays and
Yeah.
Guntucky plays and we could have a prepper band.
Cat lady says she's in heaven with all this amazing music. Makes
They
you
probably play a little better in heaven.
yeah.
At least better than me anyway.
No, man, you sound awesome. You really do.
I appreciate it. You do too.
Thank you.
What's your favorite style of music play? Since you play a little bit of country, a little bit of rock, a little bit of blues, stuff like that.
Probably old country / bluegrass type.
Mm.
I mean, because I prefer acoustic. I mean, I love rock music too, but when it comes to playing and singing, country.
Mm-hmm. I've I listen to a lot of different stuff, but I guess just my style of growing up and everything. Some of the old country is about all I can do. Bluegrass and a little bit of that. I don't have the rhythm for rock.
Yeah. Yeah, rock, you just gotta. I mean, there's some songs you can convert over to acoustic and it'll sound all right, but for most rock, you gotta have electricity, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just too much trouble.
Yeah.
Drag the amp out and hook it all up, and just to play for 15, 20 minutes and got to put it all back up. And,
You can't play that in SHTF.
no, that's a true story. You cannot.
But yeah, that being able to play music and acoustic stuff, that really is a prep in itself, as a morale booster and
Yeah.
stress relief and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Prep and Plumber was picking on me because I haven't prepped any guitar strings.
I had to dig around and find one earlier, like I was telling you. I broke one right before I came on here. Now you can probably still see yeah.
Yep.
I haven't cut it off yet or anything. So It's always something. But yeah, uh, killing Kilgon Princess. I,
Klingon.
Klingon. There we go. But yeah, definitely need to get some more strings.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
it's not a bad idea. I wouldn't mind having a couple extra. Actually, I do have an extra one set here somewhere.
yeah. I used to have a lot of them all the time when I played a lot, but I probably haven't been to a music store in about 2 or 3 years. Every now and then I'll order a set on Amazon, and that's about it.
Yeah, we really don't have any little music stores around here anymore. They've all closed down. I gotta go all the way to, well, about an hour away just to get a set of strings.
Hmm.
It's crazy.
What kind of strings do you like? You got a particular brand?
Martin. And even before I got that, I always played on Martin strings because they're so bendy.
Yeah. Um, I did convert Orville on that. I'm a Elixir man.
Yeah. Now, if I'm playing rock like the electric guitars, it's super slinkies. I love those strings.
I've Ever since I got them, I've liked the Elixirs because they just last forever. That's what I got on the banjo and on the guitar.
I don't
You
know if
can,
I've ever even used elixirs or not.
I mean, no joke. I'll usually get 3 months out of them. Not playing every day, but just you
Right.
know every now and then and stuff. And I probably got 2 months on my banjo strings since I put them on last, and that's playing 3 or 4 songs every Sunday and a couple on Wednesday nights and stuff like that. So they really last a long time.
That Martin
And
still got the same strings on it. I got it a year ago last month. It's still got the same strings on it.
mhm,
I don't change them as regularly as I should. I usually won't until they're just dead. Like once you get a dead string, it's just annoying. You got to
mhm.
replace them.
Yep, that's exactly right on that.
Yardbirds. That's a new name.
They've been following me for a while. Pretty cool cat.
They
But
know
yeah.
they know where the good times are at.
Yep. I've always wanted to play the fiddle, but I've never been able to do that, which I've never had a good fiddle. I always had a cheap one to fool around with. And, a lot of people that play say you just can't learn on them things, because a cheap fiddle just sounds so terrible. It's nothing you can really do with it. But I've always loved a fiddle when it's played right.
Oh yeah, me too.
And, steel guitar too, but I can't play that either.
I've never even tried. I've never even sat down behind one.
Hmm.
I've never tried, but I do. I do want a mandolin. I want a mandolin bad, but I don't even know where I'd put it at this point. I got so much stuff sitting around here. At one point, years ago, I had a big full size Yamaha keyboard, probably 5 guitars, 2 amps, and a drum set in this room.
Mm.
You talk about some noise making. Phew.
Yeah, and that's cramped up too because the drums take a lot of room.
Yeah. It was just, I mean, it's a 5 piece Thomas set. So it
Mm.
wasn't nothing huge, but big enough. Can't hardly move in here. And it had mics ran in here.
Hmm.
Got some feedback every once in a while.
Yeah, I hear that.
Now, ukulele, Klingon Princess says she's learning ukulele. That's something I wouldn't mind to have either. I mean, I like the way they sound.
Hmm. I've never tried to play one, but we got a couple cheap ones, for the kids to play around on. But I've never tried to play it myself.
I've never tried, but I think I don't know. If it's got strings, I'd like to have one, really. I think I'm done buying guitars for a while. The only guitar that really left that I want's a hollow body electric,
Hmm.
the old rockabilly style.
Yeah,
Oh man, I want one of them. But I think I've got plenty for a while.
Yeah.
More important things going on these days.
That's it. I hadn't bought a guitar or anything like that in probably about 4 years or so, but you know, I probably wouldn't have as many as I have and everything like that if I would have been more prepper minded then. That was
Right.
before everything. But I'm glad I got them. You get a good decent guitar and a good decent banjo, then you're pretty much set. You don't. You know, a lot of people go buy a cheap, $200 guitar and things like that, but they're not as quality. It don't
Right.
have the sound, it don't have the playability and everything like that. You're better off to go ahead and spend a little bit more and get something decent and be pretty much set for forever or whatever.
Yeah, because I mean, when it comes, I mean, that's definitely a big. You get what you pay for. You know,
Hmm.
because you don't want, especially guitar. You set perfectly in tune, set it down, come back 15 minutes, and you got to retune it. It's
Hmm.
neck's not reinforced, and you just want to throw it across the room.
Strings set about that high.
Yeah, get done playing for 15 minutes, your fingers are bleeding.
Yeah.
Be charming says a harp. No, I ain't against it. I'd try. They are beautiful. They
Yeah,
sound.
they really are.
I had a Gibson Les Paul Studio. Man, they're heavy. I bet. I
I
think
bet so
ugly.
too.
I think Ugly Prepper plays.
It sounds like it.
Yeah. I got this one. It's pretty heavy. Oh, oh no! Oh no! It's not too bad. But it's pretty.
Hmm. It is. It's got a good shine to it.
I don't play it very much. It's my 12 string.
Hmm.
And it's out of tune. Oh yeah. You ever played a 12 string?
I hadn't. My dad had one when I was a kid, but I never did play one.
They're not really hard to play. It's just you play it just like a standard guitar. I just
Yeah.
love that the harmonics are it's beautiful. I don't know if you can even tell. Can you hear the
Yeah,
difference
I can
in the
I can
computer?
hear the harmonics in it.
Man, it's out of tune. Now that's rough. Trying to tune one of these.
It's like a mandolin, it's got, 8 strings, but it's basically four because, it's got double strings, so each one has to be perfectly in tune with each other.
Well, that'll be a later day. I'm gonna sit here and try to tune it in front of everybody.
But yeah, I've seen a lot of people, that don't play or anything will be talking about, well, so and so can play so good because they can play acoustic guitar, electric guitar, 12 string, and all of that. And it's like, honestly, it's the same thing.
Yep.
I mean, they sound a little bit different, but like you said, it's played the same, so it's basically the same instrument.
Yeah, I tell everybody if you're gonna learn how to play guitar, I would learn on an acoustic
Hmm.
because I mean if you can get it on an acoustic, an electric's butter. I mean the
Hmm.
neck's so small and plays so easy. Thank you, Mrs. Prep and Plumber.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the video, Mrs. Prep and Plumber. A lot of times I try to get videos of the homestead stuff, and it just doesn't, it doesn't come out like I've got it pictured, with whatever's going on, or taking the time to get certain clips and stuff like that. And honestly, I hate the editing process. It just takes forever, and
Yeah.
all that stuff. A lot of my videos, I gotta do it on my phone and have a editing thing on there, and I don't like hop on the laptop and edit it through the YouTube where you put the cards and the end screen and all that. I'll do it on some videos, but most of them I'm too lazy to do. I'll just upload it and throw some kind of thumbnail on it and say public.
Yeah, I very rarely edit. Now, if I'm making it on my phone, I will, just because you can make it look nice, you know. But if I'm doing it right here, I'll just completely redo the whole video before I sit and take time to edit and everything. Thank you, Coral Tigger. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was good. I was telling them earlier before we went live here. I enjoyed them songs this morning.
Thank you. I just meant to do Freebird, and it's like, well, I might as well do Sweet Home Alabama. I was like, well, I might as well stick with Leonard Skinner.
Yeah,
Can't go wrong with Skinner.
start the theme. But yeah, Chris, I'm glad you came in here tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll see you later.
I'm getting shaggy. Time for a haircut.
Yep. I can't stand long hair.
Yeah, mine don't get very long. It's about as long as it gets right now. I have to cut it.
But yeah, like I said, I've always liked the Martins and stuff, but then I got this Taylor and I really enjoy it. It's a 710.
Oh, that's pretty.
It could use a little bit of polish on it, but
oh man, all mine are dusty. It breaks my heart, but man, you'll kill you. You will go nuts trying to keep a guitar clean. It just don't happen unless you play
that's exactly right.
polish it, and put it in the case. That's the only way you keep it clean.
You have to keep your rag and polish when as soon as you get done, wipe it down, or else it ain't gonna happen.
Yep. Pretty.
I think it's got a good sound to it.
Orville said Taylor means traitor.
Yeah, he kind of hates on it a little bit. He's just jealous is all it is.
You have a good night too, OFC. Thanks for coming, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. Like I said, I always, enjoy doing the lives, and everybody that I've been on or they've been on mine or whatever. It's been a real good time. I ain't had no negative experiences.
Yeah, I haven't. Not that I can think of. I've never had a bad one, really. I don't think Mrs. Prep and Plumber was in here when he's playing banjo. She just asked you to grab it.
Yeah. Probably not gonna play that anymore. I think I heard the baby get up a little bit ago, so I don't want to disturb them too much, But I might pick another one on the guitar or something. Let's see, we'll move up here a little bit. It's an old song. I don't remember who done it. I heard Ralph done it, but it was older than that. Maybe a Carter family song or something, but it's called The Storms Are on the Ocean. I don't know if you ever heard it or not, but it's got a real pretty tune to it, if I can remember how to do it. I'm going away to leave you, love. I'm going away for a while, but I'll return to you someday if I go 10,000 miles. The storms are on the ocean, the heavens they cease to be. This world may lose its motion, love, for I prove false to thee.
I like it. That does sound like something from the Carter family, though. I believe you're probably right.
It's got a real pretty tune to it.
You know, Mames plays. Speaking of the Carter family, she
Oh,
plays a
really?
dulcimer.
That's cool. I never learned how to play that either. I seen one in a music store one time and it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, and you don't see many dulcimer players anymore. Very rare.
Hmm. It's one of those things. It's a dying art form, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say as sad as it is, if nothing changes, we're probably about the last generation of like true bluegrass, old country. I mean, most of the greats are gone, you know.
Hmm. It really is, and you know that goes back with the prepping and homesteading and everything. You know, it's a different type of people that live that kind of life. You know, which granted, everybody prepping ain't into bluegrass, but
Right.
you know what I mean.
Cool ones are.
I really enjoy the whole lifestyle of raising your own food and animals, and you know, playing music by the campfire and things like that. You know.
There's nothing better than sitting around a fire picking guitar.
Hmm. I'm planning on this year. I've been talking with Orville and some of the other ones that play and everything. I'd like to take a weekend and ride up in the Blue Ridge Mountains. You know, we ain't too far from that. And then, you know, sit out and pick a few up there and make some videos and stuff. That would be pretty.
That'd be awesome. That would be very nice. Yes, you can, Ugly Prepper. Said Dolly Parton can play the daylights out of a dulcimer.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Sean? There's the Green Thumb Prepper.
Yep. I checked out one of his videos today, you know, where you were talking about him yesterday and everything. I hadn't subscribed to him yet, so I did today.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good insight when it comes to gardening and stuff. He's amazing.
Yeah, I'll have to catch up on it.
I mean, he makes me feel dumb. I'll just sit and listen to him and nod my head like, yeah. He gets into like the specific, like, you know, the the genetic makeup of a plant and stuff like that, and all the, you know, the chemical or the like nitrates and all that. And he's got it like down to a science. And I can't keep up with him.
Maybe he can tell me what's going on with my tomatoes in the greenhouse. And, you know, they're doing pretty good. You know, they're about that tall or so, and they got little buds on them, you know, where to start to bloom and everything, but they hadn't bloomed out. But for some reason, they keep getting like the leaves are turning like a yellowish color. And it kind of looks like something's wrong with them, you know, and I've been trying to figure out exactly what, because I've got, you know, I water them. You know, I don't heavy water, but I keep them moist, you know, every couple days. And I've got heat in there. And during the days it's hot, I open the door and turn the fans on and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it stays, you know, at night it's about 50, 55 degrees in there. You know, up during the day it's probably about 80 in there, you know, with the door open and venting and everything like that. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on, because when they started getting that, I thought maybe it was not getting enough light in there, and I got the grow lights and put in there, and it just hadn't you know, seemed to do what I think it ought to do. Ugly Prepper says overwatering. Maybe so.
Callie said maybe not enough nitro.
I got some kind of tomato food that I sprinkled on there and watered it in, so I'm not sure.
What do you think, Sean?
Like I said, the greenhouse is new to me. I've never done that before. As far as planting in the garden, you know, I'm pretty well used to that, but the greenhouse is new.
Yeah, my wife told me today that well, I showed you before we went live. She's buying
Mhm.
me a 7 foot by 15 foot greenhouse. And it has like a 3 year warranty. So if the cover rips or tears or anything, they'll replace it. And I'm hoping what I want to do is put a wood floor in it
Mhm.
and secure it to the floor. So, and then Sean there, he said put straps over it and strap it down like to the
Mhm.
ground. That's probably the way I'll go because too much time and effort for it to just blow away.
Yeah, that's true.
He said, Sean said, sounds like possible overwatering. Are they really leggy and leaning towards the light real bad?
No, they're really growing pretty straight up, you know. Some of them are in the hanging pots, which are near the lights anyway, and they're kind of going straight up. And I got some other ones in buckets on the ground, and you know, they're kind of going up and they're leaning a little bit over, but I put some sticks in there and kind of braced them up so they're kind of going straight. So
He said it could be a nutrient uptake issue also if the pH of the soil is off too much.
I guess I need to get me one of those gauges or something because I don't have a pH gauge. Guntucky says I need to sing to him.
Saw that.
I have sang to the hogs and the goats. I don't know if you've seen them old videos or not, but I got a couple where I was standing there in the pen picking a little bit.
I didn't see that. I'll go check that out. If it's true about singing and talking to plants, mine should do great because they're all in here with me every time I sing and pick and whatever. Talk to myself.
Sometimes talking to yourself's the only way to have an intelligent conversation, ain't it?
It's true. I get all the answers I want to hear.
Yeah.
Those pH gauges, the long blue and white ones, work great, he said.
Yeah, I'll have to get one and see what's going on. Like I said, I've got them in some hanging pots and I've got them in some buckets, and it's all Miracle Grow pot and soil that I use, you know. So I was hoping it would have enough, you know, nutrients in the pot and soil itself, you know, to, you know, do what it needs to do. But like I said, I'm not sure with all that.
That's another thing I got on my list for this summer is a compost pile.
Yeah, I just started one a couple of weeks ago. I wish I'd have started one a long time ago. As much pot and soil as I had to buy, that stuff's expensive.
Yes, it is, and it's just going to keep on going up.
Mm-hmm.
You can also get the swimming pool kind of pH test kit that you just put soil in with the liquid and do the dip test.
I'll have to look into that.
I told Sean, the green thumb prepper there, so I'll buy you a plane ticket. You come down and get my garden set up for me.
For real, I mean, it's really worth it to have somebody that knows what they're doing to
Yeah,
get you on the right track, you know.
yeah, because I'm not afraid to put in the work, but when it comes to getting all the balance, the nutrients and stuff right, and
Yeah.
I would gladly
And
have somebody come in and do it.
that's another thing you can jump on with the prepping thing. You know, a lot of people prep seeds but have never grown anything in their life. And you know, oh, if things get bad, I'll throw some seeds in the ground. Like, what was it? Michael Bloomberg was talking about. You remember when he was running for president and was talking something about the farmers or something like that. It's like all you gotta do is throw a seed in the ground.
Yeah,
A lot of people think that way, but you
yeah,
know, unfortunately, it's not so.
not even close. Especially, I mean, it's hard enough to get, go to Home Depot or whatever and buy plants and stick them in the ground and have a good crop, let alone from a seed. That's a
Hmm.
completely different ball game. I mean, completely different.
Yeah, it really is. I really enjoy growing stuff, though. I love when the garden comes in, and you know, I really enjoy the greenhouse. It has been frustrating, you know, a little bit, but um, is what it is, I guess. You know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting my greenhouse. It's gonna be probably trial and error,
It
but
has been for me. Like I said, we built this one ourselves out of some pallets and the plastic and cattle panels and everything. And started out, I had an electric space heater out there, which it would do all right if you had a sunny day, but when it was like really cold and things in the dead of winter, it wouldn't be warm enough. So I had to stick the propane buddy heater out there, and then eventually I got a wall heater put in, 12,000 BTU, so it stays plenty warm out there. And then I added the grow lights because I was thinking it wasn't getting enough light, and also I had it double wrapped in the plastic to make it, you know, stronger and I'm trying to say more resilient or whatever. But I
right.
think it was really hurting because it wasn't getting enough sunlight. So I ended up about a week or so ago, I took the one wrap off, so it's just single wrap now, and it gets a lot more light in there, and it seemed to have perked them up and all that. So, hopefully it's helping and hopefully they're not hurt too bad or disease or anything, and get it figured out and get something harvested out of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be awfully disappointed if I don't have some kind of success this year, man. I've put a lot of time and effort into getting all these seedlings started, and I'm always so excited. I'll come home from work, and the first thing I do is run and check my little grow house here and see little greenery popping up through the dirt. And it's like, yes, we've got life.
Yeah, it really is an amazing thing.
It
And
is.
it really does a lot of change and a lot of growing in one day.
Oh yeah, yeah. I uh, I started some lavender just because I love the smell of it. I left for work the other morning. They were just peaked up, just about that high. And I came home from work and they'd done shot up almost 2 inches in one day.
Hmm.
Man.
But yeah, green thumb. I'll run the grow lights on a cloudy day, and I'll run them at night too. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. I don't know, but I have some, a bunch of different videos of it on there. If you check back on my latest one, maybe you can kind of see what I'm doing wrong and be able to give me some helpful info on that. I did one not too long ago, kind of an update and showing what we got going on in there and everything, and maybe you'll see something that I need to do different and everything. The grow lights are from Walmart. They're LED strips, kind of like that, and you can link like two or three of them together and everything. So, I mean, maybe they're not good enough quality grow lights. That could be the problem right there. But anyway, that's what I got going on at the moment.
Yeah, I didn't see what the delivery time for mine was. I hope it's like a week or less. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Because if I don't get it until May or something, I might as well just not even put it up until then, later on in the season.
Yeah, it's a very time sensitive thing. But yeah, last year, I started my seeds in the house, on the laundry room back where the deep freezer's at and stuff gets a lot of sun. So I had them sitting on that and all that, and it did pretty good. But I just rather have it outside, instead of being in the house and trying to water it and getting
Yeah.
water everywhere and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to build a greenhouse to be able to be able to still able to get some things out of the winter and be able to start the seeds and everything like that.
Yeah, it's definitely good to have a leg up on it like that. Because I was looking at one of them, like the little sheds you can order, and they deliver them to your house and set them up and what. Well, you can buy greenhouses like that now. They'll bring them right to
Hmm.
your house and set them up. And I found one that was like 3 grand, $83 a month, something like that. But then I talked to Sean. He's like, well, really, you're only gaining like an extra month in the spring and an extra month at the end of the season. So
Hmm.
like, you're gonna weigh that out, and is it really worth that? And then I found that little one there for $130. Yeah, that's worth a couple extra months. I mean, to me,
Yeah.
and not taking up all this room. My office is nothing but plants everywhere.
Green thumb, like I was saying earlier, I have a wall heater in there, propane. So it's set on a thermostat that it stays 50 and above. And, during the days that it's going to be really warm, really sunny, I go right there in the morning and open the door and turn the fan on or whatever. So it'll, it won't get any hotter than like 70 some or 80, because when the sun pops out, and if you don't open the door and vent it out, I mean, you'll go in there and it'll be 100. So I try to keep it, you know, something like that. But yeah, it is propane heat.
Uh-oh.
So
He said,
maybe
wait,
that's it. Maybe
propane?
that's an issue.
It could be.
I had tried to do some research on it, and
Is it vented outside?
it's supposed to be like vented or ventless or whatever they call it for being able to put indoors in a house. It's a wall unit like you'd put in a house, 12,000 BTU. And what little bit of research I did before doing the propane, it said that propane was okay to use in greenhouses and things. So, like I said, I'm not sure on that, so I just kind of went with it.
Uh-oh. It's killing your plants, he said.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Is there anything I can do to fix that?
Man, that sucks. Think you're doing the best thing. I wouldn't have thought about it either, man.
Is there a way that I can like vent it out or something and fix the problem or whatever? Like I said, it's a
Reverend Orville said anointing oil.
because if I turn it off, it's probably going to be too cold in there. Because it's still, like I said, it was only in the lower 50s here today and cloudy. So,
Have you seen where they use the big black barrels of water and the
yeah,
to hold heat?
I had seen some of that.
I've never messed around with that or nothing, but that might be an option for you. I don't know if you can get a hold of the barrels or not, or if you have room in there for them.
Yeah, I really don't have much room in there. I do have some like 1 gallon water jugs and painted them black and everything to help hold heat, kind of sitting around the tops of the pallets and stuff.
Mrs. Prepping Plumber, as a matter of fact, we do. And I feel you.
But yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to try to figure out another option or something. I knew something was wrong, because they would do, they were looking pretty and everything, and then all of a sudden they would just start turning yellow. So
He said if you can vent it outside, you're okay. But if you continue, or if you can't reroute the exhaust, you're going to continue killing your green babies.
yeah, I don't know a lot about propane and everything, so I don't know exactly how to vent it out, where it vents from on the heater and whatever. I'll have to look into that or something. I guess it comes out the top, maybe.
I have no idea.
So I'll add that to my homestead project list.
Yeah, what's your yearly ambitions?
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna try to learn how to do a greenhouse right. So yeah, so don't put a propane heater in your greenhouse.
Now, if I ran anything in mine, as little as it's going to be, it'd probably just be a little electric heater.
Yeah, and like I said, maybe the research I done was wrong or something, but it said that that the propane you could use in there because it like the plants breathed in carbon monoxide or something, so it was okay or good for them or whatever. So I don't know. I guess I was wrong on that.
Um, uh, River and
I'll have
Orville,
to check that out.
I don't have my garden in yet. It's going to be, I'm trying the vertical garden this year, but my wife bought me a greenhouse for our anniversary. It's 7 by 15. So he was asking how big my garden is. So, I mean, it's not really going to be all in one spot, if that makes sense. It's going to be everywhere. I'm doing the beans on TPs, and I'm going to do my cucumbers on trellises and get as much of it going vertical as I can. So, hopefully, I can get as much use out of what little bit of land possible.
Do you follow asymmetrical preparedness?
Mm-mm.
He's got a pretty good channel, and he does a lot of gardening. Mainly, most of his is raised bed type stuff. I mean, he's got beds and containers all over his yard, in the growing season.
That's probably what mine's going to look like.
They're really, raised beds is a nicer way to garden. It's a lot easier to keep the weeds out and stuff. But if
Yeah.
you're like we was talking about buying the lumber to build them, man, they're
Yeah.
expensive. And then buying all the soil to fill them in with.
What's my favorite to plant? Probably cucumbers, because I can't. I mean, I've always cucumbers, man. They grow like crazy here, and I end up in the past throwing them away just because we can't eat them fast enough. Um, I like growing beans just because I like anything that's viney because you can kind of train it. Like I
Mhm.
used to way back when I had a big. I believe they're called Seven Sisters roses. And man, these things would grow 20 feet a year. And I had them trained to where they grew in a great big heart shape on the back of my garden shed. It was really cool. I like doing stuff like that.
That
So
is cool.
anything viney is, I think, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, Be Charming. I'm pretty sure that I'm subscribed to them. I'll have to check out their videos again and figure some stuff out. But yeah, like I said, I'm not the greatest homestead or prepper, but you know, I try to learn as much as possible.
See you, East Kentucky. Thanks for coming, man.
Hmm.
Now, Klingon, that's something else I'm wanting to get in on the square foot gardening. That's for aquaponics. Man, I'm dying to try some aquaponics because, I mean, you can grow fish and vegetables at the same time. I'm all about it.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that, but it is very interesting.
It is, and it seems. I mean, it don't seem very complicated at all. I mean, it's kind of expensive to get it up and going because you got to buy the clay pellets that for your medium to grow everything in. But I mean, it seems pretty cool.
Hmm.
Do you follow Cattywampus Acres? They're a homestead channel,
I'm not sure.
but they're really good. He does a lot of the vertical gardening with his tomatoes and pepper plants and stuff like that. And they have hogs and goats, and I think they have like 5 acres. I think
Mm.
he utilizes like every square inch of his 5 acres. They've planted fruit trees, and they build a greenhouse out of old windows and stuff. It's a really cool channel. They're both police officers, and they work
Hmm.
separate 12-hour shifts, so there's always somebody at home to keep everything going. It's a
Yeah,
pretty good show.
that does. I mean, homesteading like that, utilizing everything you got, it takes a lot of work and a lot of time to keep everything running.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's where, I mean, we're slowly trying to We're gonna do as much as we can here. I mean, we're pretty limited. I mean, we have, like I said, about an acre.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you can put a lot. You can get a lot of food out of an acre. A lot.
Yeah, you really can. Like you said, if you end up utilizing every inch that you have, you can really produce a lot.
Yep.
But yeah,
Awkward silence.
like I said, I don't know how long you want to stream, but we can hang it up whenever you want to.
I'll probably have to jump off here about 11 so I can get stuff done. I still got to water all my plants and take the dog out, all that good stuff, and get ready for work tomorrow. But
Yeah, I got to do that too.
I would imagine, Sean, so lots of stuff to fix on a homestead. I imagine all the time.
It really is. Like I said, we've got a lot of fence to finish putting up. A buddy of mine, he had bought all this stuff and was going to fence his place in, and then he ended up taking a job and moving to Oklahoma. So he gave me a really good deal on it. It was like $1,300 worth of stuff for like $600, and then when he threw in the rabbits, I give him $7. But we got, I think it was about 10 rabbits or so, 5 330-foot rolls of woven wire. I forgot, like 20 some packs of T-post, I think it was, like 30 wooden posts and 1,300 pounds of concrete.
Wow, that is a good deal.
Yeah.
Where did you get the name Six Shooter?
It's not really a epic story or anything, but back when I first started driving, I had a truck and was going to be cool, and I got some of these, toy 6-shooters out of the store and stuff, and I attached them on the grill and everything, and then that's kind of where I got the name from. My brother-in-law is actually the one that started calling me that, and then it just kind of stuck, so I went with that.
Because Ugly Prepper was asking if you only shot 6 guns.
No, I used to actually for a long time back, when I was a teenager and stuff. I was, revolvers was my deal, and I still like them, but I kind of moved more to Glock as a prepper option because, of course, more capacity and everything like that, and being able to change magazines is a lot faster than reloading a revolver, and the fact that, you can just get so many parts for Glocks. You can just keep them running for years on, spare parts and everything. So it just seemed like a better prepper option. But
Right.
yeah, SJ, I appreciate you coming in here. So you have a good night.
Not SJ. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. SJ, she has been with me since day one. She's one of my very first subscribers.
That's cool.
Her and Be Charming. She was one of my first. Mame's Legacy was one of my first.
It is really cool, like we said, talking about the communities and stuff. When you have ones that'll stick with you that long, you become friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Orville was one of my first, but we go to the same church, so.
I think Cat Lady, I think she's been with me for not as long as the other ladies, but
Mm-hmm.
they've been with me a while. And Sean, Green Thumb Prepper, he's been with me for quite a long time. Yeah, you get to know everybody. Like, if you go a couple live streams and somebody's not there, you like by the third live stream, you're like, man, I need to ask somebody if they've talked to them, like you become family, man, or, it's like you generally get concerned and you notice when they're not around.
Yeah. Yeah, Orville said he subbed when I had like 6 subscribers, and it's it actually takes a lot longer to build subscribers than I thought it would. I knew it would, it would take a while and everything, but it'll seem like you'll go through sometimes when you'll pick up, like 10 or 20 overnight, and then sometimes you'll go a month and maybe 2 at the most. It's weird like that, I guess.
Yeah. Grim Survival. He told me, how he got his up is, I mean, he'll talk to anybody, you know. So he contacted the bigger, like, Angry Prepper, Alaskan Prepper. He contacted him, was like, hey, I'm starting a channel. You want to come over and be a guest? You want to.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, when they come to his channel to do an interview, their followers come and, they'll see you're a cool guy or whatever. You know your stuff, and they'll subscribe while they're there watching him.
Mm-hmm.
So he said that's how he built up a lot of his.
Yeah, I was on Grimm's probably about 2 months ago or something. I was on one of his streams, and I really need to get in touch with some of the other ones and stuff too, because really, I've been on Prepper Nations a time or two, and that's about as big as I've got so far. I hadn't talked to Angry Prepper or Alaska Prepper or anything like that yet.
Good night, Be Charming. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here. Orville wants to know what kind of work you do.
I am a home health aide, sir. I've been doing it for over 20 years. And before that, from the time I was 14 till I started home health care, so about 7 years, I worked at a tree farm, tree nursery.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what destroyed my back. That is hard work.
Yeah, it will do that.
Oh, yeah. Any given day, you got to hand dig 100 and 150 white pine trees and load them on a truck. And I'm not talking about saplings. I'm talking about 5 to 6 foot tall white pine trees.
Yeah.
Any bigger than that, you do it with a case tree popper, and then you got to load them into the truck. 200-300 pound balls of dirt. Yeah, I'll never do that again. My body wouldn't let me do that again, even if I did want to.
Yeah, I hear that. But yeah, appreciate everybody being in here. Probably about time to wrap it up and, get ready for bed and hit the work day tomorrow and everything like that. So I guess we'll.
Sean feels me. He's done it.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
I've never done that yet. I usually just cut them down when they're grown.
Do not do it. Oh, he done it with the backhoe. No, it is hard work.
Yep.
Thank you, Prep and Plumber. Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate everybody being in here. And I guess we'll close it out with a prayer.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to start us off?
No, go ahead, man. I told you about that.
Yeah. The only way to get over it is do it, though. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for letting us come together again and be able to have fellowship with each other and everybody on here that's been in the chat and meet everybody's needs and all the prayer requests that we've got in the past. And if any came up tonight, I didn't see if there was, but you know the needs and meet their needs and the physical and in the spiritual, all those that need a touch from you and a renewing of their spirit. I pray in Jesus' name that you will come with them and give them that touch and let them feel your presence. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right, y'all. I appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Stay prepped up, prayed up, and strapped up.
Night, everybody. Well, I think he just left me live. Yep. He just left me live.